G'day folks, well Cubes were good enough to offer to send me the AJ Split Megaminx, so that is what I believe is in this box. I have a very, very bad feeling that I'm going to be required to do some stickering. Yep, the Split Megaminx. So the brand here, I don't even know who's produced this. The brand is listed as AJ. AJ is someone who's done some mods in the past and now store. Oh my goodness. Yes, I am. The worst part of this is that my daughter is not around the place, and so I might have to do this myself. You can see, if you just look in the light, I don't know what that thing is in there. Is that the brand of a particular company? I have no idea. Now, I've had a look, and there is a particular way of stickering this. So there's a specific pattern. It says don't scramble the cube before you do it. So I'm not going to scramble it, but I am going to do that. I don't know if you can hear that rattling. That has been reported on a few other people's cubes. That seems to be pretty decent turning. I mean, yeah, seems okay, but enough of this. Well, I've come back in here just to show you the stickers, and I've had a really good look at how this thing is supposed to be stickered. There is actually a video being put out by Cube In, I think that's what it's called. And so maybe they're the manufacturer, I'm not sure, but they've quite clearly said that the two blue faces have the same sticker pattern. You can see that, no problem. And then one of them, the dark blue, has its other stickers like this, where you have, in fact, I don't know if it's the dark blue or not. I think it might be the dark blue has sort of one part, two parts, three parts, like that. Whereas the light blue sticker, the ones that are next to that, go two parts, two parts, two parts. Now, it is very important that that is done to be the AJ Split Megaminx, and all the pictures on Cubes, Now Store, all the sites say the same thing. So what you would want to do with this thing is to begin by stickering one of these blue faces, which have that very simple pattern. We just have a face that's separated. So let's find one of them. First of all, it's not that one. It is, okay, that one there. Hopefully you can see that face is exactly looking like that sticker pattern there. No, it's not actually, because what is different here? We've got that one. And in fact, this is one of the things that I wanted to come back in and do this video. So you can see the sticker pattern there. That bottom, everything looks okay, except for this bottom part should be downwards like that. But let's just assume that was okay. That means the opposite face should also be like this, which should be this face here. So I turn to the opposite face and discover, what? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's supposed to be there, and there are the bits that are split. And then I think, what on earth is going on? I look at all the other faces and I see I've got 2, 2, 3. I've got 1, 1, 2, 2. None of these are according to the sticker pattern. The occasional face accidentally gets it right, but you know what's happened? Whoever has assembled this has just willy-nilly put them in without any regard to the sticker pattern. Therefore, since this is a review of this puzzle, you should be well aware that you may get a puzzle like I have got, and I'm going to have to disassemble the entire thing just to put it back together in the correct pattern. You can see that it has been, you can see the lube glistening in the light there, I hope. Right, it's got to be removable then. That's one way to remove stuff. There's no rattling there now, so I'm not sure what was causing that initially, but you can see how these are built. I don't know. I'm assuming that cap will come off. Yes, and there's the screw for tensioning. I don't think I'll need to do that. Look, I think this will be fairly straightforward to assemble. I can't see it being a huge issue, But it's kind of like, okay, you got a sticker a puzzle, but if you're going to get a puzzle that's wrongly assembled, why assemble it at all? Just send it to me like this, because I've got to do it anyway. So not really sure what's going on there. Maybe the person in the factory who was paid to do it was not told that there is actually a specific way of doing it. So buyer beware, if you get one of these, you may end up having to do what I'm about to have to do. Okay, well, about an hour and a half later, here I am, and it is now completely assembled properly. So what you can see is if I look at that face there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have split edges, well, split corners, I should say split pieces, because they are in the edges and the corners. But on this face, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the edge parts are not split. If I turn upside down, I've got exactly the same thing. That's the first thing. Then, if I look at this side, so here's the top face, look at this side, I can see that I've got splits going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And there's 2 non-split parts down here. So I'll go and grab a sticker like this. You can see that if I turn it round like that, I'll just hold it above it, you can see that is exactly what we've got. We've got 2 split bits, then a gap, then 2 split bits, then 2 gaps, and then 2 split bits. And every time I turn that around, so this is still the top face, that is exactly what I see. All the same, all the time. So that's that sticker set. Now, if I turn it upside down, and of course I've got the other blue, I guess I can choose which blue I want where. And then I look at one of these other ones. Let's have a look at this one here, which is a different pattern. So let's see if I can match this pattern up. Yes, I can. This time we've got, if I look down the bottom, there's a gap of 2 here. So I'll sort of hold it there. I've got 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And we see that on the sticker. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So every side there now looks exactly the same, and it's all in the correct orientation. That is how it should have come assembled. I've figured out, I think, what's gone wrong. So I reckon, you remember earlier I said there was some lube on it. I think what they've done is they've assembled it, they've stuck some lube on, and they've given it a good twist to make sure the lube gets everywhere. Normally, great idea. With this one, not so much. So I can't say whether that was people at Cubes or that was people in the factory. I've got absolutely no idea. But all is well that ends well. I didn't need that hour and a half of my life. And now I've got a sticker. Now, many of you are probably wondering, why did I have to disassemble it to reassemble it? Couldn't I have solved it into the correct state? Well, yes, of course I could if I had thought of that at the time. But you know what? It didn't kill me to reassemble it, so there you go. It was a bit tricky to start off with, but once you start seeing what's going where, pretty straightforward. And after you've got the first face, it didn't really come apart. Okay, so here we are. I have stickered this myself. This is like a magnificent and momentous event because I just don't sticker stuff anymore. For reasons that should, looking at that white face, be obvious. You can see that they all, on the face, relatively, they look pretty good. And that's because I used the sticker, what is that sticker peeling sheet thing called? Whatever that is that you stick over the whole lot and then stick them on as one. But you can see there's quite a gap there. It was actually a little bit tricky to see exactly where to line it up. But most faces I'm happy enough with. And you know what? It looks fine as it is. The problem I have with this is the color scheme, with the company choosing to make blue and blue sort of the starting colors. Because if you think about it, this is really a set color scheme in terms of these 5 colors here must be together. These 5 colors here must be together. It's your choice where you put them. I've seen about 3 or 4 different variations, so there's no real set color scheme apart from the constraints caused by the stickering patterns. For example, you can't put this here and this here because this stickering pattern does not fit on this face. So the colors look pretty good. I'm really happy with it. It still turns really nicely. It still has a rattle. Don't know if you can hear that. It did not have a rattle when it was completely disassembled. So the rattle is in one of the pieces, I reckon, somehow. I don't know how because none of the pieces did it either. It's a mystery. Now, of course, this can be scrambled as a Megaminx and solved as a Megaminx, but we've got these split edges, so I thought I really should at least attempt to get something scrambled. And I suppose the way that I would do that is I want to get a line around here where I guess initially you would go up and put all the edges like that. You would, let's say that one there, and then get your corners. So I want a corner here that is going to have, let's say, do I want it like that? Like that. And I want a corner like that on each of the corners. And I'm just trying to find ones where this is not on the bottom because it's easier to get the corner up. Just requires one of these things rather than three. Plus, I suppose it also scrambles it better. This is, I presume, what we do. One more to go. Okay, now, yes, there we go. So that's what we're doing. Now the turning of that face seems, I'm not going to use the word flimsy, it's not. It's very light and it turns very easily as well. So I think, I did not realize that was going to be like that, of course, but it must be in order to scramble correctly. So you'd need to go around and perhaps just keep replacing some edges. I'll just keep doing that. And just doing the last little turn here to scramble every part of this puzzle. Having a look around, I reckon it's all done. I can't see anything else. So that is a fully scrambled AJ Split Megaminx. I really like this. In terms of the colouring, it reminds me a lot of those Licorice All Sorts puzzles, those Wit Eden Super 3x3x5, 6, 7 and 8. I used to love doing them, and this just has that same look and feel about it. So this is a nice puzzle. It turns well. I've got no real issues with it. I just won't really hear the little tiny rattle in it. I suppose the only caveat is just make sure that you're properly in solved or reassembled position before you sticker it. And look, if I can sticker it to some degree of, well, that looks pretty normal to me now. Anybody else can, that's for sure. In any event, this is the AJ Split Megaminx. You can get this at a bunch of places, obviously from Cubes. Again, thanks to them, they sent it over for a review. It's a nice puzzle. It's pretty cheap there. And I would suspect that the solve will probably be relatively, well, not straightforward, but not too many surprises, although there may well be some parodies in the air as well. We'll see. So there it is, the AJ Split Megaminx. See you in the next video.